Codex Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. Joining me today is my usual co-host, Tim Morris. And today we have joined us from many of the other Codex station shows, Dan Kelly.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you, Dan. Yeah, the first time we'll be having you on the show, and my first time for 2024. So welcome everyone to 2024. In case you didn't see any of the other Codex station shows, like last week, how Tim and Jamie did the episode of the Codex Podcast.
Yeah, first episode of the year.
Yeah, 95, and we're closing in on 100.
That's right.
We got to do something big. Come up with ideas and plans.
Dan, it's good to have you here, man. And I know that this isn't the first and only time. This is the first of many to come throughout the year.
I feel honored to be like the first one out of the original core 3 to be on the podcast.
There you go. Now you can hold that over Sal and Gary.
To be on the flagship, the Codex flagship.
Yeah.
You're the first of the guys because Kristen did one.
Oh, okay.
But you're the first of the guys, the first man to do it.
Fair enough. I am all that is man.
Dan the man. Here we go.
The road manager himself, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. Do I see Gary peeking around the corner?
Somewhere. But everyone, we got a good show ahead of you. We got some comic book news for you. We got mail call. I'm excited to show you guys some of the things I got for Christmas. Our works got a lot to talk about. And then we will be having the F list. And today we will be reviewing Spider-Man, Daredevil, Neighbors. Look at that. Tim's got it.
Yeah.
But today, one thing I'm really excited about is we have a new segment, and that is the random panel of the week. So that one I'm really excited about. And that one, I'll go more into it on the show, but that was something that Dan had started, and he takes over when it comes to Comic Character of the Day's Facebook page. Every day, Dan's posting a random panel of the day.
Yeah.
Gary was the one that named that. I actually wasn't going to do it on a daily thing. I had found a few panels on a couple Instagram pages I follow, and I was like, well, I don't want this to be like every day, so I posted one, then I waited a couple days and did another, then a couple days, and then one day Gary just started calling it, random panel of the day. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll post it every day.
I love the Aquaman one that was up the other day.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, everyone check that out. Check, Comic Character of the Day's Facebook page, and you'll see a random panel of the day every day.
Oh, there's some messed up ones coming up, I'll tell you.
Oh, my God, I can't wait.
I've got them scheduled out because on Facebook, on pages, if you're an admin or something on a page, you can put stuff and schedule it to post like up to a month out. So I've already got the next 25 or 30 random panels of the day actually on the page. They're just set to drop at a certain time each day, like around 12 or 1 o'clock.
Nice. So there you go,
right at lunch.
Yes.
Some people may be losing their appetite with some of the ones coming up,
I gotta go, boss. It's 12 o'clock. Random panel of the day's dropping. I'll see you in 30.
Yeah. And they see it and like, actually, I'm not going to eat today.
I posted I say it now because it's not going to come up on the list for like another month. It's one where a Spider-Man one with Doctor Strange, where Doctor Strange is just standing there talking to Spider-Man and goes, "You're a good man. You've led a good life. Now prepare yourself to die." Something like that. I can't remember exactly verbatim, but I was like, wow, that's rough.
Yeah, so it is weird when you see some of them, especially when they are so random, when you don't know the story behind it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I sent you the Superman Power Girl one, because I sent Sonny a couple of them.
I was almost going to pick that one.
I saw the whole page and I was looking at it. I'm like, nope, I'm going to take that specific panel because that's an interesting one.
I almost picked that one. I'm like, maybe for the first time I'll go with something a little more subtle.
Oh my!
I was almost picking that one. Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Now I'm curious.
Episode, yeah.
Well, when you see it, you'll be sitting there looking, be like, it'll be the one time in your life, like everybody all the guys at some point kind of wish they were Superman.
Yeah.
At this point, you'll be like, I really wish I was Superman.
Holy cow. Ladies and gentlemen, this podcast is going to be off the rails. We're stuck in the washer, and we need your help getting out.
Help! I'm stuck in a washer somehow.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah.
Good fun things. Yeah, next real
What are
quick,
you
just
doing, step sis?
Trying to do laundry. What are you doing?
I got stuck in here again.
Doing laundry. Have you heard that Blink 182 song, Doing Laundry?
No.
I don't think so.
It's a 30-second song. Fat Wreck Chords, like 15 years ago, put out a compilation called Short Music for Short People.
Yeah.
It was 101 tracks on it. They had 101 different bands that all did 30-second songs. And Blink 182 did one called Doing Laundry. I can't tell you the lyrics on here because it would make it rated R, but
Oh my God.
I encourage you after we're done to go listen to it. Like I said, it's only like 30 seconds long.
I'm writing this down.
Tim, I think we got a message for you in the comments.
Let me take a peek here. Oh, Sal. What does Sal say? He says, I'd like to join the Zeb Wells fan club, please. There is a long waiting list, Sal. Yeah, I'm never going to look at the applications. So, there you go.
See, anybody that wants to join the Zeb Wells fan club, it's not a real fan club. Tim is just taking a list of names and addresses so he can be like, you're the ones. You're the ones buying this and keeping him on here. So he can go out and start taking people out. Be like, if I get enough people gone, the sales on Spider-Man will plummet and they'll get rid of Zeb Wells.
Like that scene at the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Are you so-and-so? Yeah. Did you say this?
Tim's getting ready.
I'm lifting glasses of milk. I'm doing a push-up a day as per Uncle Gary's instructions, and I'm moving from couch to chair on a daily basis. I'm getting my reps in, ladies and gentlemen.
Like Uncle Gary says, I was picking up those big comics.
That's right. And I'm moving long boxes.
Kevin Smith said he's doing another Jay and Silent Bob movie.
That's amazing. Didn't he say all that needed to be said in the last one?
I mean, I like the View Askew verse, but Clerks 3 was just, it looked like an amateur film, to be honest. Like, it was a real disappointment. And then the one they did before that, the reboot, like, that one was just terrible. The
last View Askew-verse movie I saw was Clerks 2.
Which was
that was good. That was great.
Yeah, I didn't see the third one, but I did see 2.
Yeah.
The third one sucks. And
I loved Tusk. I loved Yoga Hosers. All of that stuff. Every movie he's put out, with the exception of, I think, 1 or 2, I haven't enjoyed. And his stand-up specials, those were great too.
That horror movie that he did, Red State, was really not good, though.
I loved that movie. I thought that was great.
I was not a fan.
Oh, I was like, wonderful.
Clerks 2 I loved, and especially like the line when they were in jail, when Randall was talking to Dante, like it really made me feel as like they was speaking from my life when he's like, when he said it's something where he's like, I'm 35 years old. I hate, I don't like people. I think everything is stupid. Who's going to want to be my friend? And I was like, God, it's like me on the screen, except not in jail.
The 2 scenes that immediately come to mind is the kid with the onion ring quoting Lord of the Rings, and at the end when the guy is with the donkey and pulls the glove on. I lost
that's
it.
funny.
Or when he's got the shirt, he's like, no, it's okay. I'm taking it back.
Oh my God. Yeah. So
I have to watch it again. Like I said, it's been many years.
Yes, you and Maria need to sit down and watch Clerks 2.
It had like a little collector set thing that I bought when it came out on DVD. It was a little like Happy Meal looking box, like a Movies box.
Oh wow!
And it had it had the DVD in it, a Movies visor, and I can't remember what the other 2 things in it were. But I was like, all right, yeah, for like $10 more, I'll pick that up.
Done. There you go.
You're a fan. I've got a few of those.
It had a movies tag.
But they have the name tag?
Yeah, like the ones because I was thinking about like I got the visor, I got this. Like I could go online and just buy like the movie shirt, and I'll just use the electrical tape to put that on the back, and that be my Halloween costume. Be like, I'm Randall.
Wow, that's wonderful.
You know your friend when you get like those special edition ones. I've gotten some things like that. We get the hats and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll have huge fans that buy huge bundles of Codex stuff.
Yes, that would be
Codex
amazing.
hats, Codex shirts,
You know where
Codex
they
mugs,
can go
Codex
to?
stickers.
Oh, if Jamie will let us make hats,
Hats are expensive to make.
and they're awesome to wear.
Oh
So-
yeah, they are. I looked into like making Never Say Die hats at one point, and yeah, they're pricey.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want some merch to help us have coffee in the morning, head over to thecodexstation.com, get some merch, meet the team, and so much more.
Yeah.
You can get the it is Bagley art.
It is actually, yeah. It's one of the greatest shirts in the history of shirts.
It is. Truly, there's a certain guy from Codex is on there.
That's right. And
You know what I should have done? What I should have done for your sketch cover I gave you for Christmas was I should have just taken the art that I drew on the shirt. I should have drawn it on a blank Spider-Man cover.
Oh, that would have been great. Yeah, the day after I found an empty top loader and I put it in there and it sits right here on my desk. So
I can still do that. I'll have to keep an eye out for a blank Spider-Man cover. I can put that on.
As much as I love mine, right? I cherish mine. I think that is amazing that you put the type of work and the time into making that. But I have to say, I love Sonny. I love what he did for you.
I did too.
I think that is absolutely amazing. And
the cover. I thought you were still talking about the shirt. I'm like, Sonny?
No.
Where did
And the amount of work that you put into Gary's cover was
oh my god, that took so long to do.
I love those two. Those were my two favorite covers. And the Connor Kent Codex picture that you did. That was amazing. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, that Swamp Thing one I did. I had this drawing board my wife got me, and I'd be like sitting there on the couch with it on there and just drawing it. And like I said, I told you guys on the show I was drawing it. And at one point I looked at it, I was like, I don't know how anybody draws a monthly Swamp Thing book. This is taking me forever. And all I'm doing is the head and like the upper body, or like the head and like the shoulders. And it is taking me forever to do. I was like, you think it wouldn't take that long to do all these little squiggly lines, but it takes a long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, go check out the Secret Santa episode so you can see all the covers that Dan did for every member of the Codex Station family.
That is right.
Yeah.
Boys, I'm ready. Would you say you're ready?
I am. Sonny, what type of music would you like today? Do you want the groovy bass tune, or do you want countdown music, or something else?
I was kind of trying to decide between like a random alien, like that one random time, or some groovy.
I can do the alien.
Let's do some alien stuff today.
All right.
Wait a minute. Before you play it, I told you that Blink-182 song, you should pull it up on your phone or something because it is only like 30 seconds long. As soon as you do this, you can listen to it so you can tell me what you think when you come back.
Oh my God. I will attempt to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in 30 seconds.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Code X podcast. For the first time in 2024, Sonny Cougar is back on the Code X podcast. Today, things are a little bit different. As usual, I'm joined by my co-host, Tim Morse. And today, we are joined by the Code X station's very own Dan Kelly.
There he is.
How's it going? Good to be here.
Pretty good.
We are glad to have you here, Dan. As you may have guessed, everyone, Jamie Wojcik has been fired. So Dan has taken his space. Jamie, you guys took a long time to mention me, and you mentioned me on the pre-show last time, and it took like 30 minutes to mention my name. So I was like, so Jamie's been fired, and Dan is here for today, and also doing the review.
All I know is that so far this year, I have not been fired yet, and I am eternally grateful for other people getting fired instead of me.
And also during the review, you guys, which last week, Jamie and Tim, they did a very good review. But I was going to say at the end, yeah, it was
I
a very
knew
good
this
Nightwing
was
review.
coming.
105, I gave a review. I wrote a review, and Jamie was doing a very good job of reading it. And if you catch it, says, Sonny,
Yeah, there it
he was
is.
on, I put in there, Sonny is sexy, and gave some Nightwing 101. But I will give him his credit. He caught it. He said, Sonny gives.
After the show, Jamie was like, "Yeah, I'm not saying that."
I was like, he caught it. So that's why he had to be fired too.
Wow, there you go. Okay.
But yeah, but today we got comic book news. I'll start it off with the rundown. We have a mail call, show everything there's some things I got for Christmas, of course, comic book stuff. Our works, we got a lot coming ahead for the Code X station this year. And we will be having the F list. This time Dr. Bong joins the F list. Yeah, Tim will be telling everybody about a certain giveaway with certain comic book you could be winning. And today we will be reviewing Spider-Man, Daredevil, Neighbors. And also, for the first time today, we are having a new segment, and that will be Random Panel of the Week. So I'm really excited about that. All I'll tell you about is that it involves Godzilla and basketball, but we'll get to that later. And Tim, since we were talking about the Spider-Man, Daredevil, Neighbors, would you like to tell everybody why our episode has the name it has? Because I did not understand.
So the name of the episode is Stuck in the Washer. And what do neighbors do? They're neighborly. They help each other out, right? So if we're stuck in the washer, help us out by giving us a like, share, subscribe, and follow. Make sure to find us on all the socials. All you got to do is type in at the Codex Station. That's where we will be. The like, share, subscribe, and follow helps us out in so many ways. It helps us get out of tight spaces, helps our laundry get done in a timely manner, and pulls us back and forth out of the washer several times. We all win in this, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, subscribe, and follow at the Codex Station.
Okay, so if I accidentally trip and end up in the washer,
I'll help you
call
out.
my neighbors. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. There you
Perfect.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I accidentally tripped and I ended up in the washer. But before we get to the news, Dan, for some people who might not be so familiar with you, yeah, Dan, you're on many of the other Codex Station shows, but this is your first time on the Codex podcast. So would you like to tell anybody a little bit about yourself, your artwork, the other shows you're on?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art, where I post artwork on there. Go on, check it out. Give me a follow. I think I'm at like 816, 817, something like that now.
Getting there.
And yeah, I post a few times a week. So art, music. So go check it out. Give me some likes and leave a comment and let me know what you think and what you'd like to see me draw next, because I'm always looking for ideas of what to draw next.
Help this man get to 1,000, ladies and gentlemen. It is the marathon of marathons. 1K for DK. Get that big D across the finish line. Come on. Come on.
He deserves it. And Dan, for those of you who do not know, Dan is on the other shows of the Codex Station. You do plenty of reviews. You're on Comic Character of the Week. You're on After Dark. We see you pretty much everywhere, but now it's glad we finally got you here. So
yeah, it feels great to be here. I've been looking forward to this all week.
I think aside from the big event shows, this is the first time, Sonny, you and Dan have worked together, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Except for the big shows.
Yeah. Aside from the big event shows, this is the first time.
Yeah, so it's good. A pleasure to work with you.
Awesome.
I'm Kelly. And now we'll get started with the comic book news. And we'll hit a button to say that we'll get started with the rundown. Okay, so some news is that Jonathan Majors had a major interview the other day with ABC about all the trouble he's been in. That was one thing. So we'll definitely get onto that. And also this month is Spawnuary. There's one thing, Dan, you let us know about. And then Well, I was looking for quick little things about Spawnuary is that is a challenge Todd McFarlane is having, and four people's drawings will be chosen to be on the covers of Spawn later in the year. Week one was this month through January, so the first to the seventh was the challenge details was January 1st through the 7th was drawing Spawn.
Mhm.
8th through the 14th is Gunslinger, which Gunslinger Spawn, and then January 15th through the 21st is Scorch. The 22nd through the 28th is any Spawn universe villain, and then on January 28th through the 31st, the winners will be picked. And also, I just found this out not too long ago. We do have some sad news, and that is that actor Ed Canto, who played Sunspot in the X-Men Days of Future Past movie, has passed away a couple
Ooh.
weeks ago at the age of 42 due to cancer. Do want to mention that. And then, yeah, there hasn't been that much other news going on this week. Like I said, I think a lot is with the Jonathan Majors news. So, guys, any thoughts on any of the news mentioned?
I find it incredibly interesting that the company that fired him also got the exclusive interview.
Yes, that
Yeah.
Disney owns ABC and then
Yeah.
fires Jonathan Majors and then gives him the exclusive interview.
Yeah, what he did is what he did, right? And the man deserves to have the punishment according to the crime, right? That goes without being said, but we have to say it in this day and age. But I just find it incredibly interesting that the company that fired him. So if you don't know, if you've lived under a rock, Jonathan Majors played Kang, not anymore, and has since been fired for guilty verdict for spousal abuse, either way, yeah, domestic violence, and this man's entire career has fallen like rain on a summer day, and it is no more. Got fired from Disney. Lost all kinds of other things, and he watched it all happen once that guilty verdict came out. Now, the company that fired him, Disney, which owns Marvel, ESPN, Hulu, and ABC, got the exclusive interview on Good Morning America. And I think that just is incredibly interesting to me. That's all I got to say about that.
So I watched the interview. So I was paying attention to a few things. For me, it seemed like from the very beginning, but quite a bit of acting. Mr. Majors,
Oh, yeah.
my career, and this, and I love that woman. It seemed very acted. And then certain things, then they were playing recordings of him before him and his girlfriend that when they were arguing and he was saying, he was mad that she was coming back home from a party drunk and he was like, I'm a great man. And he was telling her that she needs to be more like Coretta Scott King, the wife of Martin Luther King Jr., and that she needs to be more like Michelle Obama. And then when you hear more stories, because I'm never going to be for a man hitting a woman. I'm not for a woman hitting a man either. I'm a man of peace. People may call me a bit crazy, but because they're this crazy white God-loving man. But hey, I'm for peace. I think violence and all that stuff should be in movies, TV shows, books, games, all that. But in real life, we should behave. But for them too, it did seem like a toxic relationship from what I've seen. The pictures that she has a mark behind her ear. He had like scratches on him. So and then there was footage that shows him running away and her chasing after
I
him.
saw that. Yeah.
But then still there's footage of him kind of throwing, like picking her up, shoving her in the car. And then just a lot of, like, it seems like, okay, a toxic relationship. Nobody, I think, is 100% innocent, but yeah, you can't be acting like that. And some of these people, you gotta, see warning signs before you get into these relationships. If it is toxic and you're fighting and scratching each other and smacking each other, get out of it. It's not gonna end well.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to him. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know all the details, but it seemed like it was a bad relationship all around. And then now, like how you were saying, Tim, with it's interesting how it was Disney, how Disney owns ABC, and then they gave him an interview.
Yeah.
It almost makes me wonder too, like, okay, is it like I said, how he was acting very sad, and then the interview they had to mention, oh, do you think color had to do with it? Why you're immortal? And I like before what Morgan Freeman said when he said one day, he's like, oh, how are you going to stop all like racism? And he's like, stop mentioning it, constantly mentioning it. So I wonder if
Sonny,
this is ABC / Disney's way of trying to get people to feel bad.
yeah.
I'm going to say, hey, we fired him as soon as that verdict. We fired him, and now we're going to give him a second chance. So I really wonder. But I did like what Jamie said last week when he said maybe they can do something along the lines of have different variants, so different actors.
Yeah. So, and Dan, chime in whenever you're ready, man. The thought that Jamie had about that was really good. Like, Marvel has a unique opportunity with this to do something like that, like have a bunch of different actors, big actors even. You only have to sign them for one movie, one TV show or something like that to play variants of Kang until they figure out or decide who they actually want Kang to be. And I think that's an incredibly great idea.
I think
So,
they should hire upcoming actors who really
mhm,
resemble the original King in the comic
yeah.
books, like guys who do podcast hosts who know a lot about the characters. I think that'd be terrific.
Do you think you can do it, Sonny?
I would conquer the role of King the Conqueror.
Oh my God.
I mean, I think it's it's obviously disappointing because Jonathan Majors is a fantastic actor.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a very talented guy.
You know, he was good in the role. Like I told you guys, in the pre-show, like I think Marvel's kind of done wrong by Kang so far because they build him up in Ant-Man and the Wasp to be this huge major bad guy, and all the Kangs that showed up at the end were like, oh, he was the one that we were scared of and all this, and then he gets beat at the end of the movie by, I mean, I like Ant-Man, but he gets beat at the end of the movie by Ant-Man and Darren, I'm not a dick MODOK. So
I'm really an Avenger.
So it kind of it kind of takes away that that badassness of like, all right, you've told us he's really tough, but then you didn't really show us. So then in Loki, he was really good at the end of it, and then all right, he lets Sylvie kill him, and then the second season at the end of it, he essentially just doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
The end. So I don't know if that was pre-planned or if that's something that they went back into, like, hey, this is our way out of it. And
thinking about that now, that makes a lot of sense for them to pre-plan that, because I know that they wanted to go in a specific direction, but with all of this taking place, they were already coming up with contingencies and alternatives in case a guilty verdict came through.
Well, I think the whole second season was done filming before all this happened, but since he wasn't in, I might be mistaken, but he wasn't in that last scene, the one where anyone, spoilers, watch it, it came out months ago.
Oopsies.
I did actually watch it. I am caught up on Loki, yeah.
But but like, where they showed it earlier in the season where somebody, where Ravonna like dropped the TVA manual in when he was a kid, and that's put him on the path to becoming Kang. So at the end of the show, no one went and dropped off the manual, so he never got put on that path. So essentially, it's like, okay, maybe he doesn't become Kang. Like, I don't know if that's something that they went and tacked on afterwards. I kind of feel like all this came out that they might have done something right away if it wasn't for, well, we filmed this whole Loki show and he's a major part of it. We can't go refilm all of it, so let's just wait and see what happens.
So
after it's over.
Let me ask you this. My brother from another mother, Pablo Escobar, otherwise known as Paul, he's got his kids watching right now. Hi, girls. Be good, please, and eat your dinner and read more comic books. Uncle Tim loves you very much, and I will see you soon. He says, Dr. Doom time. Do you agree with that?
I'd be more than fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Thanos, he got slowly built up, and then when he finally was on there, you're like, okay, this guy's, he did what he said he was going to do. He wiped out half of existence.
Yeah.
So he proved that he was a badass. With Kang, it seems like they just rushed to, well, he's going to be the other big bad, and they weren't like interested in building him up. They were just, we're going to tell you how awesome he is right at the start, which but then he wasn't. So
he's going to lose in every show and movie he's in.
Yeah. So
every time you see me looking down, Paul's telling me more things about Dr. Doom. So
they could. I mean, I'd love to see Doom. I'd love to see them do a Fantastic Four movie where Doom is not the villain, because remember, he didn't show up, until a few issues into Fantastic Four.
5th issue, right? Yeah.
So I'd love to see them do a Fantastic Four movie and then do a post-credit scene that like teases Doctor Doom,
Yeah.
coming into the future. Like maybe in the movie they can reference like Reed's old, college rival or something. But yeah, I mean, it would make sense to do Doom since they're going to do Secret War, and they're not doing the original Secret War, but the Hickman one, and Doom was a major part of that. And I mean, it would be great too. You could, like Jamie said, you could easily get a bunch of different actors to come in and do Kang variants. Though Majors, he did what he did, and he was right. They were right to fire him. But he is a good actor, and he set the bar really high. So whatever actor you get to come in has got to be at least equal to his performance.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true.
And speaking of Fantastic Four, maybe they said no Doctor Doom for the first movie. Maybe Danny DeVito as Mole Man.
I would love to see that. That would be amazing. Have him pop out of the hole and be like, so anyways, they started blasting.
Perfect. Yeah, we the movie needs to happen. It would be like finally the one successful Fantastic Four movie.
That would be perfect casting right there.
I keep hearing him mention Galactus too. That it would be like the human form, not that abomination they did. Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Galactus.
No Cloud Galactus.
No. Yeah. Hashtag no cloud. Let's talk about Spawnuary.
Yes, Dan, I really want to talk with you about it. You're the one you let us know, and you got some art. You've entered the contest.
I did. So if Dan Kelly Art on Instagram, you can go see my post. At the beginning, like the very beginning of last year, was actually the first post I put. Thank you. The first post I put at the beginning of 2023 was I got that Spawn one blank sketch cover. I actually bought a couple of them when it was released, and I did one cover, and I was like, all right, this looks pretty cool. So when McFarlane announced this, I was like, well, I'm gonna redraw that. So I redrew that because he sent this. You can't just draw it on anything. He sent a download where you have to download like the blue line paper, and I got one of them here where you can see what the top of it is.
Hang on, let me get you front and center so people can see that.
That's me.
So
hi, Sonny.
Whatever you draw, it has to be. You have to submit it. It has to be on this. So I redrew it on that, and that's what I submitted for Spawn for week 1. Week 2, which is going on now, is the one for Gunslinger Spawn. So I'll show you guys. This is what I'm working on. For Gunslinger.
Nice.
So I'm going to finish the body and then do the head. I have no idea what I'm going to do for the background of it.
Big tumbleweeds and all that stuff.
And then like you said, week 3 is Scorched, which is the team book. And there was a drawing I was doing for the Spawn week, which I didn't finish. So I'm just going to pivot and do that for next week. And then the following week is any of the villains. So I'm leaning towards doing the Clown and Violator just because it seems like they'd be really fun to draw. And then the final week he picks them, and he's going to pick one from each week, and they're going to be variant covers on issues of the Spawn books in 2024. So
I just think that you are putting yourself out there in such a way that you are entering this contest. That takes a lot of guts and determination on its own to do something like that, to put your work, which I mean, everybody here at Codex loves your stuff, but to put your work in the mix with everybody else, that is fantastic. A lot of people don't take that first step, and you're taking that first step and then taking more for the rest of the month. And that is incredible to me. That's awesome. And I hope that you win.
Thanks. It's funny because I have all the, I think I said on the Secret Santa episode, I had, taken scans and pictures of all of the covers I was working on you guys for like 2 months, like pencils and then the inks and then the final ones when I drew them on, when I put them on the covers. I was like, but I can't post any of this because I don't want it to be spoiled. So I've got enough content to post on my page for like 2 or 3 months. And I was gonna like, all right, well, I'm not really going to work on anything new unless I get a commission or, something like I had an idea of something I was going to kind of do that I could work on without having to post it. So I could post it when it was finished.
Yeah.
I got all this other stuff, but then this contest came up. I'm like, I might not win. The chances, the odds are not in my favor because it's open to everyone, even professional artists.
Mhm.
And the stuff I've seen, that if you look on the hashtags you put up there, like some of the stuff people are entering is just
But
is
the f-
gorgeous.
but the
you gotta,
fact
but
that
you can't win if you don't
McFarlane, the fact that McFarlane gets to look at your work
try. Yeah,
and look it over and really scrutinize and give constructive criticism, that's worth its weight in gold right
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
that's
you never
amazing
know.
stuff,
Maybe
yeah.
he looks at it and be like, "Hey, you know what? I like, it's because it's all subjective.
Yep.
I'm assuming he's the final say on it.
Yep.
So you never know.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
just awesome to me.
And doing that is a win in itself. Like, you're someone, you love drawing. That's something you
Yeah.
love to do. So I'm sure even just drawing it yourself, you got a lot of happiness and joy out of it.
Yeah,
And then,
Well,
like
I
Tim
wish
said,
I
you're
had more
getting,
time to, but yeah,
well, and
like
on
Tim said, you're
top
getting
of
Todd McFarlane to look at it.
yeah,
And like I said,
Yeah.
he may see something he likes, or he may even say, hey, you know what? Somebody I know is looking for this kind of artwork. You never know what it could lead to.
Yeah,
well,
you
and
never know.
About her.
You never know unless you try.
on
Yeah.
top of that too, with your artist account with CGC, I think this needs to be said that when you posted that on Instagram, CGC responded and
Oh
they
yeah,
said great work. That was awesome too. As soon
It
as
was-
I saw that, I was like, that's cool.
yeah, that was pretty cool. Like I said, that wasn't the first sketch cover I drew, but I picked that because my dad is a big.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, I registered as a CGC artist, and so I can submit any sketch covers that I do now, and it'll print out that yellow signature series label.
Yep.
And it was actually the last sketch cover that I did, which I drew specifically knowing like I'm going to give this to my dad for Christmas because he's not really into comics, but as a Rocketeer one, we were both fans of the Rocketeer movie. My dad owns and operates a World War II bomber, and the Rocketeer is a World War II era character, so it kind of fit. He's the biggest supporter of my art, so I got that for him. And I'm not gonna lie, when I opened that box, it's really cool seeing that signature series label that says drawn and signed by Dan Kelly like that.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
Before you got it signature series verified, it was half of something, and now it's all of everything, and that was amazing.
Yeah, even I thought it was cool just seeing your name on it because you posted the pictures. I'm like, so I can imagine how you felt when it's your name.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. Just like because you're a writer. Whenever you print out your PDF awards, it's pretty cool seeing Sonny.
It is. It is always perfect.
The PDF Sonny Awards are the best awards anybody can ever win, and we here at the Codex Station have several of those. So
We do.
yes.
But in seriousness, like it's great seeing your name on something where like anybody can write their name on, but like seeing it on something like that, like it's just it's a pretty cool thing. And anybody, you guys can go on and register to be CGC artists. Like it's free.
I am a Tom Taylor artist. I am a stick figure artist. That's as good as I can do.
Well, you know what? It's funny because Tom King is a registered CGC artist.
Tom King.
And he did that one, like stick figure, really crappy
horrible.
Cover, which Sal got him to sign at Baltimore Comic Con, but he's like, I'm a CGC registered artist. Like this is what I can do, but
wow.
Well, one day I may have to surprise you guys. I have a love of drawing too. I may have to show you some drawings I've done. I've drawn some characters. There we go.
Richard says, "Hey guys, love the Instagram post from Dan." Richard, awesome to see you here, buddy.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. So, boys, we've gone through quite a bit of news. Anything else, or shall we move on?
I am ready to stroll along the path.
Okay, let me. Oh well, gotta say it. It's mail call.
Oh wait, Sonny. Before we get into mail call, do you want to do sponsor real quick? Get that out of the way, or save it before our works?
We have a sponsor, and Tim will tell you all about them right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, give me just a second here. Let's go ahead and give it is you. Let's go ahead and give a big shout out to our sponsor for this week's episode. You've heard them already, and you're going to hear them a lot more. Nirvana Comics in Knoxville, Tennessee. They are my local comic shop. They are my exclusive comic shop. That's where I get all my new books and a lot of back issues from. And they were gracious enough to give us a copy of their store exclusive Duke #1. Now, there is a way that you can win this. It's really easy. All you got to do is make sure you're subscribed right here to the Codex Station. So while you're watching this, I'm going to give you instructions. Real simple to follow. Hit that subscribe button. Once you're done with that, head on over to Facebook. Find Nirvana Comics. They're really easy to find. I had a sticker here, but I do. I got it right here. Look for this logo right there, that one. And make sure you're following them on Facebook. Take a screenshot of that, go over to our Facebook page and share it there and say, I'm in. That's all you got to do. Real simple. Subscribe to Codex. Make sure you're there. If you're already there, you're halfway there. And then go over to Facebook. Make sure to like Nirvana Comics and then let us know I'm in and you're good to go. The drawing is on January 22nd and you have a chance to win this awesome store exclusive. And it's numbered, guys. It's at 95 out of 250. Also, if you want to get awesome comics like this in the future, go ahead and head over to nirvanacomicsknoxville.com where they have this and other books available for sale right now.
Smells like comic spirit.
It is amazing. It's beautiful. All right. Now, Sonny, the ever so popular words that come from you.
All right, I think I got to be big for it.
I think so.
You got to make me bigger.
Oh,
On the
sorry.
screen.
I'm ready to listen.
So then it's mail call.
There we go. I'm following instructions.
There we go. For Christmas, obviously, got quite a bit of things. First, I'll show you some shirts I got.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Don't worry. There are some Marvel Comics shirts.
Oh,
Look at that.
that's
I like that
nice.
one.
That's
With
cool.
many characters on there.
Paul Zabel says, Team Go Dan, break a leg.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Tink you. And make
It
sure
would be
it's
it would
not
be
my
pretty
leg.
cool it would be pretty cool to come on Codex, be like, hey, here's the when we're doing the
Here's the
comics of the week, like, oh, I bought this alternate cover because I drew it.
Ah. And here we go. I also got a Black Panther shirt.
Oh,
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah, I got that. And then my sister-in-law, future sister-in-law, Melly, is like, sorry, we went to get Wolverine for you. And I was like, trust me, Black Panther, more than fine with it. I'm more than fine.
The perfect evolution of beard growth.
We do. All of us do. All of us have perfect beards here.
Maybe that's what you should have named the episode. 3 guys and
Beard.
their beards.
Three
Three
guys
beards.
stuck in a washer with beards.
Tim, this one made me think of you. Spider-Man.
Oh, nice.
Ooh. That's the Spider-Man from the Sony PlayStation game.
The video game, right?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm sure my Maria knew that. I'm sure she was like, this is from the Sony PlayStation
That's
game.
exactly why she got it, I'm sure.
But she also got me some socks. There's the Joker.
Nice.
And there's Batman.
That's wonderful.
And now I realize that I forgot to bring out my Joker sweater. Another time, I'll bring out my Joker sweater she got me for Christmas. But you know what? Everybody, this was we did see this on the Secret Santa show, but I felt like let me show it right now again. This is what I got from Sale the Slab Guy. And that is Wolverine issue 59.4.
The one that he told me that he almost kept for himself because
He didn't want to give it to me, but at least he did. I'm very glad he did. And then this one especially, we were talking earlier, Dan Kelly, you did this one. That is me.
So good.
The Punisher. And yeah, it was what did Uncle Gary say? He said Sunisher. So there we go.
The Sunisher. There you go.
That is awesome. Dan, one of the
you know what? I was gonna say you just put up that Superman fan fiction that you wrote. Perhaps that'll have to be the next fan fiction.
Ooh.
Sonny
Nice.
Kruger as the
Punisher.
I've got ideas. I try not to get too ahead with my ideas, but
Some people
Punisher ideas.
come at villains with puns. Others come with suns. Marvel presents
Perfect.
the Sunisher.
Nice. And I get to blow people's heads off.
Yeah, there you go.
We also got this the other day, X-Men Milestones, the
Ooh.
Messiah War.
Oh, nice.
Not too bad. At Walmart, had it for like 11 something. So
There's a lot of those
Yeah,
Milestones trade paperbacks out. They are awesome and greatly priced too.
Oh yeah, I've got quite a few.
They don't sell that stuff at the Walmart by me.
Oh, but online, yeah, they don't have any at the stores. Online, and even says it's like not in stores. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And then these are some things. These are some comics my mom got me. She's like, son, I don't know too much, but I know you like X-Men. So she got me some comics, and here's all new X-Men special.
Ooh, very nice.
Oh, nice.
And then I also got Superman Dawn of DC.
What number
one
is that?
Series.
Is
Number
that
one.
Oh, perfect. Sonny, you're going to love that. That is a great
Yeah.
series.
So I'm excited to get started with that.
Yeah.
And then she also got me this one. What is that? X-Men The Exterminated.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
cool.
nice.
I like that cover. And then this one, the facsimile of Uncanny X-Men
Yeah.
129. Yeah, the first appearance of Kitty Pryde and Sebastian Shaw
And
Emma
the Frost.
So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's awesome.
great.
And then this one,
Peak X-Men.
Yep.
The Incredible Hulk 180,
Oh,
facsimile
nice.
of The Incredible Hulk 180.
The cameo appearance of
The first
Wolverine.
appearance of
Yeah.
Wolverine.
I was like, Mom, did somebody at the store help you? And she's like, no, I thought because my youngest nephew is little Eddie and he likes the Hulk. And she's like, I got it because I just saw the Hulk and I thought of him. I'm like, this is the first cameo of Wolverine. She's like, oh, I guess so. Cool.
First
That's-
appearance of Wolverine.
That's two right there.
Yeah. And then also,
Richard is sad because Dan says it's the first appearance. I understand, Richard. I really do.
and he said, not again. Yeah, there's many. It's a great argument. But also, I got some other comic books. Not too long ago, I had a one shot with Patrick Hickey Jr. and he's going to be set to have another full interview with Codex. So I make sure to get some of his comic book called The Job. And here's issue number 0.
Oh, that looks
Nice.
And I've read this is a good story about it's a fiction of wrestling. Like a wrestler who starts robbing banks, and there's The Job issue number 1 that you can see there. He wrote on it his
That's
autograph.
cool.
Oh,
right
nice.
on.
cool. Got scribbles.
Yeah.
Yep. And then issue number 2 again. Yeah, some more scribbles somewhere on
Wow.
there
That's
at
great.
the bottom. But yes, there it is. The Job. And it's a good story. I'm enjoying it very much. And like I
Nice.
said, Patrick Hickey Jr. is set to have a full interview with the Codex station very soon.
Nice.
And that is my mail call.
Nice. He self-publishes that.
Yeah, he owns Legacy Comics.
Nice.
He's the owner of the
So I'm looking at this, and the evolution of beard is amazing. That you have lush color, you have slight graying, and then
Salt and
this is
pepper.
what you get later.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been the name. I guess we're just stuck in the washer though.
That's
man.
right. God,
With all our different beards.
I've been bleached.
And
You could dye it, Tim.
No, that's too much work, and I won't do that because once it starts to grow out and I got this little line, I'll get all mad and shave it anyways.
Tim's gonna come on an episode one night, and his beard's gonna be like jet black. What are you guys talking about? I haven't changed anything.
who is this guy?
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get our polls going. There we go.
You probably still look more like you than the time when I shaved my beard and had the sideburns.
The mutton chops.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Everybody, you guys got any mail calls or anything? Or do you save it? Because I know we hit it on After Dark.
I got stuff. Well, I'll show you what I got through Heroes Corner Comics this week. It's only 4 issues because I'm not going to be on After Dark this weekend. But I will show all these again next weekend when I'm on there. But since we're sitting here right now showing stuff, I'll give you a look. So I haven't read this yet, but I want to. And this is the John Romita Jr. variant cover, original X-Men.
Awesome.
Nice.
I am excited to get into this because this is kind of like the prelude into the Weapons of Weapon X storyline or something like that. Yeah.
All these
so,
X-Men preludes coming out,
yeah. So I'm excited about that. Got Superman number 9. Haven't read this yet, but I am interested to get into it. I'm all caught up on Superman except for this issue, and the past 8 issues have been fantastic. If you're not reading it, yeah, I highly recommend it. Dan loves it too. So
I'm going to get started very soon.
And I'm going to show it here on the podcast so I can deny it on After Dark because Sal's not here unless he is in the chat right now. And if you are, Sal, if you chime, I'm going to conveniently ignore it. But real quick, so there's that, and then
Was that Spider-Man?
and then there's that. I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is I see some beautiful John Romita Jr. artwork. I don't know who wrote the story, but I'm curious to see.
I think there's a fan club.
Moving on.
You know what? You've got the Bagley Art Spider-Man shirt. I think we have to talk to Jamie about getting a Tim Zeb Wells Spider-Man shirt.
Yes.
No. It's not necessary, guys. I promise. We're
And the
good.
cover of what issue was that? Was it 26 or the one?
The
we need, like 5 reviews for.
the death of Miss Marvel.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one where you were like,
21.
the story gets a big fat 0?
Yeah, because it was horrible. Ladies and gentlemen, the latter half of 2023 was me complaining about Zeb Wells with due cause. And if you need to really know how I feel about it, go check out the review I did of Amazing Spider-Man Volume 6, numbers 21 through 26. And you too will feel as empty as I do inside because that story was so fucking horrible.
Man, and I'm very interested to see who's going to win best writer.
Not
we have
Zeb Wells.
Codex Awards
If
coming up.
anybody picks Zeb Wells, I'm gonna lose it. So yeah, Zeb Wells for me. Are you kidding me right now?
The vote is
Oh my God.
unanimous.
Everybody picks Zeb Wells except for Tim.
Richard, you and I are in 110% agreement. What they did to MJ was violently criminal, and it should be undone as soon as the next writer comes in.
I stopped reading, and I've said it before, I stopped reading Spider-Man after One More Day. And I was a huge Spider-Man fan. I read every one of the books. Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Spider-Man Unlimited. I read them all. I picked up the miniseries. I loved Spider-Man. After One More Day, I picked up I didn't even buy the next issue after that. I flipped through it on the rack, and I'm like, nope, done. Canceled all my subscriptions. I sold all my Spider-Mans except for my Amazing Spider-Man run and a couple odds and ends there. Wow. The only Spider-Man that I read since then was like occasional miniseries when they would do like out of continuity stuff or stuff that was set before it, like those Peter David symbiote miniseries. I only recently, within like the past year, started picking up current Spider-Man stuff again. I picked up a couple of the Amazing Spider-Man issue books just because I was like, well, Ed McGuinness is drawing this and it looks fantastic. I picked up the self-titled one because Bagley was drawing it and Slott was writing it. But yeah, you know, it's criminal what they did to it's criminal what Marvel did to him then, and it is still going on.
Thank you. I am not alone in this venture.
Well, I was talking about the Codex Awards.
Paul says the new art is amazing. 100% agree.
See, that's one thing that drove me away from it too. Is I am not a John Romita Jr. fan.
I'm talking about McGuinness.
Oh, McGuinness. Yeah, McGuinness stuff was gorgeous.
Yeah, Romita's stuff was left to be desired, at least on my end. But that's neither here nor there. We can talk about this at length.
Yeah,
at a different time.
Yeah, but how we were talking about the Codex Awards. It brings us to our works. Like I said, we got this Saturday, which is the 13th, is still set to be the Codex Awards.
Yes.
The Cody.
So about that. Earlier, when I was doing my mail call, I did mention that we will be having an interview, a full-on interview with Patrick Hickey Jr. We're still setting up the details to see when we can have that. And then, Dan, I'm glad to have you on here because I've been doing a lot of editing on a series about a series, and recently I'm working on a scene that has a song by a band called Never Say Die. Yeah. So, Dan, I've been working on that scene. Yeah, I did it again.
That's awesome.
So I've been hearing that song over and over because when I'm editing, so I've been hearing it. I know the lyrics probably. I might know them more than you right now because I've been hearing it over and over with the editing. So, yeah, when episode 3 of a series by series comes out, you'll hear Dan's band Never Say Die in there.
That's great.
I originally started writing that song to be a drinking song. It was going to be like, oh, I did it again. I went and got drunk again. And as I was writing the lyrics, I was like, nope, this is because sometimes you start writing with an intention of being one thing and it just takes you somewhere else. And you're
turns into something totally different.
I'm not going to force it. This is what it's going to be now. And it ended up being like a kind of breakup song. And then like 2 years later, I wrote another song called I Did It Again. that is a drinking song because I like the hook for it just popped into my head one day. So
No, that's great. That's great.
So if you want to hear some of Dan's music, you can obviously you can feel free to check it out. And then Tim, don't think I forgot
I was
about
gonna say, I believe
you.
Tim's
When
been
you
on
have half
there
of
as well.
something, yeah. And in episode 2, which is out now, Tim's band, yeah, half of something. They
Yeah,
did a
that's
breakdown
right.
in there.
Yeah, we were the end credits song, if I'm not mistaken.
That is right.
Yep.
That is right. So I've been working on that, and I do have a bloopers video, so you can see that I know a lot of people see me on here and they think Sonny probably never messes up on his words. He probably never stutters, but I do it a lot. And so I have some bloopers videos out there. And yeah, but through all my mistakes, I keep pushing forward and I still do
There
what
you
I'm
go.
going to do, even if there's 50,000 mistakes to get 10 words right.
That's right.
Not that many mistakes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Series
a
about a
little of a
series,
dramatic.
the award-winning A Series About a Series.
Mm-hmm.
Go check
That-
it out on YouTube.
Thank you. That is right. So, yeah, 2 episodes out now in a couple months. I'm looking for maybe a March release of episode 3.
Nice.
And
You
what
know,
about
when you if I know a lot of the guys are coming down for Baltimore Comic Con this
Mhm.
year, you should come down too. You should write a special episode of A Series About a Series that you can film with all of your codex.
That would almost be like a Code X show. I can come up with something. You know, my mind,
That'd be amazing.
God has given me a creative mind, so maybe making a Code X show.
Right on.
Yeah, but there's a lot coming up. Yeah, so I'm still thinking about that Baltimore Comic Con. That is in September, right?
Yes.
So I would say, I know in a couple months I'll be going to C2E2, and then Baltimore Comic Con will give me a bit of time to save up some money.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make a trip. But what you guys? Any other shows? Yeah, because I've been seeing obviously comic character. The week the last character was Hawkeye. Any upcoming characters coming up for the episodes?
Dan, that's all you, buddy.
Yeah, we're doing the new episode tomorrow night on Mephisto.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, very cool.
Which was Tim's pick.
Yeah. And we're gonna talk about One More Day tomorrow too.
One More Day, Mephisto versus. But Mephisto's been a part of it quite a bit.
Yeah. I got some good picks picked out for like covers and recommended readings that I think you guys will dig.
I think I do too. And I was talking to Sal today, like after I sent Jamie my covers, I was looking through something and I was like, oh, I wish I would have thought about this cover then, because that might have made it. So hopefully somebody else will have this particular cover on theirs. And I was talking to Sal, like, oh yeah, there was this one Silver Surfer cover, like from right before from the lead up to Infinity Gauntlet that I almost picked. It was like
I saw that, yeah.
It was almost there. Like I had 4 and I had to narrow it down, and that was the one that didn't make the list. And Sal was like, "Yeah, that was the same for me."
Ladies and gentlemen,
is it the one with Thanos and like the boys are back or something.
They're hanging out like that. Yeah.
And Mephisto's been in quite a few good stories and good covers. So I'm interested to see that episode. I will be watching tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see it, absolutely. It is live tomorrow night, Thursday, at 9 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. So join us, guys. It'll be a hoot.
A hoot.
Yeah.
So speaking of cool covers and things like that, it's time, everyone, for our new segment. And this is Random Panel of the Week. And now this story gets started. I'll tell a little, since it's the first time we're doing it, tell us how we got started with it. I would see on Facebook, on the Comic Character of the Day Facebook page, Dan would post these random panels, and then eventually became Random Panel of the Day. And I was like, guys, I think this is a good idea if it's a segment on one of the shows. I'm like, since it's, Dan, you guys do it. So if you want to do it on one of the other shows, I just think it'd be a good segment. And Jamie posted one of them on like one as a short, but I said but we hadn't made it into a segment. And I'm like, okay, I think this year I want it. I like that segment, and I think it needs to be on the Codex podcast. And it technically could be on the other shows too, because we're just gonna have Random Panel of the Week, so it's gonna be one a week here. Whereas there are, as you can see on Comic Character of the Day, there's Random Panel every day. And then Dan, you were saying that it was Uncle Gary who gave you the name.
Yeah, I just started seeing panels on a couple Instagram pages that I follow, and I'd be like, oh, that's funny, and I would save it and I would post it on the page, but I wasn't doing it every day. It was like every kind of couple days. And then Gary, I think when I did it like 2 days in a row, Gary just Uncle Gary named it like, oh yeah, on the random panel of the day, and I'm like, oh okay, well I guess I got plenty of them on here, so I just started posting one every day, and yeah, I try and pick ones that are either really funny, sometimes really violent, sometimes somewhat sexually inappropriate. It's not just going to be a random panel of like J. Jonah Jameson being like, I need pictures of Spider-Man. Like
it's a completely out of context panel.
Exactly, out of context. Sometimes it's more than a panel. Sometimes it's like a couple panels or a page, but most of the time it's just one panel.
Yeah. So Tim,
are you ready?
Dan, you sent me a few pics. I said I feel it's only right since you were the one who did it to get us started. So you sent me a few, and then I was like, okay, I think this one is perfect. Are the ones you chose. So Tim, you show everyone the first random panel of the week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Behold.
There it is. Godzilla playing basketball, and it says Godzilla got busy.
I love his sneakers.
Yeah, he's got the sneakers on. He's playing. He's watching do a layup. Godzilla playing basketball. Now, do you guys know a bit of the history behind this?
I have no idea.
No,
I found the panel, but I don't know what it came from.
So me, I was like, I swear.
Wait a minute. Is this Godzilla versus Charles Barkley?
You are correct, Tim. Yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, I was like, I swear Charles Barkley. I'm like, was it Barkley or Jordan or Shaq? Like, I'm really sure it's Charles Barkley. I looked it up. It is Charles Barkley.
That's great.
Yeah, and I found on a page for Dark Horse Comics, and it said this. It's like it says the world's mightiest monster battles Earth's greatest athlete in the most outrageous, board-slamming, super-dunking game of hoops in the history of history itself. A clash so huge, only writer Mike Barron and artists Jeff Butler and Keith Aiken can fit it on a page. Bigger than Bigfoot, space aliens, and Elvis combined. Until your last breath, you will remember what you were doing on the fateful day Godzilla met Charles Barkley.
Oh my God.
And there was a commercial. There was a commercial. You can check it out on YouTube of them playing basketball together. That's what it was. They had a commercial of it. Charles Barkley makes sure to elbow Godzilla. Godzilla falls into a building. And then they made this comic book about it.
And that was the only time in his life that Charles Barkley was referred to as the world's greatest athlete.
Yes.
Sir Charles is still one of my faves. But yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, I was like, wow. Okay, so I did check out the comic, and they're playing, and Godzilla like burns the ball, and then Charles is schooling him in basketball, and then he tells him something like, I'll train you. You got to do like 1 million layups. I'll be back in many years.
Gentlemen, real quick though, do you know that Charles Barkley and Godzilla met up once before?
Oh, when?
They did. Dan, you'll appreciate this.
Hulk 181. No, that is Godzilla versus Barkley. Almost as epic.
If you know, you know, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't, go watch last week's episode of Comics Unleashed, and you'll find out.
So, Tim, you were saying that Barkley and Godzilla have met before?
Yeah, in Hulk 181.
Hulk 181.
Yeah, the first appearance of Charles Barkley and Godzilla playing basketball against each other was in Hulk 181.
Yeah, that was Charles Barkley's first appearance before he was born.
That is also correct. Godzilla made his American debut in Hulk 181, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. There's another guy who did too.
Wendigo.
Wendigo was a little before.
Wendigo had a cameo in 180.
It's been around longer. You didn't even know your Wendigo facts, Tim. There's our random panel of the day. Like I said, I like that. I thought it was a good picture, Dan. I'm like, that's perfect. Just Godzilla playing basketball, wearing the Snickers. I wonder what his shoe size is.
I love that. I love that. I know what size they are. 181.
The only thing that would have made that better is if instead of tennis shoes, is if they had like trucks on his feet. Or Vans.
Oh, hey. Hey-oh.
There you go. They could have got Godzilla one of those light up shoes too, like the kids had in the 90s. He steps every time the lights.
Oh, that was the height of '90s fashion. Those, and then the Reebok pump shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody had high tops.
Yeah.
And well, I really enjoyed our very first random panel of the week, and I definitely think it's something we will continue. Dan, I'm glad you got to be a part of the first one. I felt it was the only way that you'd be a part of this first one, and
Thank you. Yeah.
Tim will be continuing this on for quite
Next
a bit.
week.
So prepare for some very random pictures at like 3 a.m. in the morning.
I'm going to start looking at stuff, and if I see something that is just completely off the wall, out of context, it's even worse. I'm sending it to you.
Right, perfect. I'm very, very excited for this. You got it started, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much.
Hey, you're welcome. Let's spread the joy.
we will every week. And now let's spread a bit of badness.
Yes.
And that is the F list.
Jim already dropped the F-bomb once.
I did. Now Sonny's about to
Tim
do
did.
it again.
So now, today, joining the F list is Dr. Bong. There he is, Dr. Bong, with a bell for a helmet. He has one ball hand. He's got a red cape. It shows at the top, it's like, as college student. Then
Oh,
show the
let me
other
go
one.
back there. Yeah.
Yes, so it says, as a college student, he's got like an orange beard. And then it says current appearance. He looks kind of like Freddy Krueger in that one.
Yeah. And then you got this.
Yeah, we're facing off with Howard the Duck, and Dr. Bong, with his hand at his side, says, "Why, how charmingly inarticulate. Thank you, Miss Switzler. And may I welcome you to the island of Dr. Bong."
I do believe that's his first appearance.
That is the first appearance of Dr. Bong, and that was in Howard the Duck 15 in 1977. And there he is. He became as you can see, he became a therapist for Deadpool right there. Just imagine speaking to a therapist and he's dressed like that with a bell for a mask.
Exactly. And then that.
And there he is, yeah. And then when Dr. Bong says, in my humble estimation, you've gone completely insane. So diagnoses Dr. Bong. And
Oh, wow.
if you see in the background, look, there was a
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck with a bunch of darts thrown in it.
No.
That's Sal's favorite character.
That's
He
great.
does love Sal.
Sal probably threw the darts at him.
I really like this one from She-Hulk. Yeah, and She-Hulk is even saying, like, Dr. Bong is just a kind of joke. The Fantastic Four and Spider-Man got Dr. Doom in their 5th issues. I get this clown. And he's in the background like, clown?
And then this one, Sonny, right there.
That one is for sale. There we go. 9.8. Howard the Duck, issue 31. And it says, the final bong.
Oh.
And I agree with Richard in the comments. This is why comics are awesome.
Oh, hang on a second. Let me bring that there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Richard, do you know what Dr. Bong's first appearance was?
We just said it like 2 minutes ago.
That's right, Hulk 180.
Everyone's first appearance is in there. Hulk's first appearance is there.
That is correct.
But does anybody want to take a guess? Dan, our special guest today, we'd like to guess as to the history of Dr. Bong.
So Dr. Bong was a down on his luck college student, as you see. He is, I mean, look at him, he's a loser. And he was sitting around his dorm one day smoking a bong, and it was some really good stuff. And he decided, you know what? I'm tired of being kicked around by the world. I am going to become a villain. And he was trying to figure out what his villain name would be. And he heard this bell ring, and he's like, that's it. And he looked at his bong and said, I'm going to be Dr. Bong. And you think it's bell themed, but it's really not. The bell, is really a giant bong. So what's coming out of he puts the weed in the top there and he lights it, and then his helmet, he's just hotboxing the whole time. And he knew he needed some type of weapon. So he took one of his mother's, because of course he lived in his mother's basement. He took one of his mother's Benoit balls.
Oh my God!
He had a gauntlet for his left hand to be used as a weapon, and then he became the fearsome Dr. Bong.
Oh my lord.
That probably goes better with him than his actual story.
Paul says it is his spirit animal. Howard the Duck, Paul. Howard the Duck. That's where he gets his first appearance.
Howard the Duck. Well,
And then in Sensational She-Hulk, the when Byrne was doing it.
Yeah.
Yes, he was there.
One more time for the friends in the back. Howard the Duck, number 15, ladies and gentlemen, is the first appearance of Dr. Bong. But do you know what Dr. Bong's real first appearance was?
Play Hulk 181.
No, it was Howard the Duck 15.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I was wrong, but at least I got this information right in front of me, so now I can do it. Yeah.
He doesn't commit villainy until after 3 p.m. when he wakes up. That is absolutely correct.
Oh yeah, after he wakes up and has his the rest of his cold breakfast burrito that's laying on a paper plate on the nightstand beside him from the day before.
And he reads the copy of Hulk 180, so that way he gets the true cameo appearance of Wolverine.
Perfect. Well, everybody, Dr. Bong's actual name is Lester Verde. And Dr. Bong actually has nothing to do with bongs. I don't know what. Yeah, his name is Dr. Bong. There's no mention of him ever even smoking bongs. But his height is 6'2", but when his helmet makes him 6'8". So
It's like that line out of Fletch. Remember when he was had the fantasy about being the basketball player and like, oh, he's 6'2" with the afro 6'5".
there you go. Perfect. Yeah. Dr. Bong, yeah, when he gains 6 inches when he wears his Bell helmet. So Lester Verde was an overweight child, and he was a victim of bullying, and he eventually started to fall in love with this woman. As you can see, her name was Miss Switzler. Trying to find out where her first name is.
That
she
is
is.
That her? Yeah.
Yes, Beverly Switzler. And he really liked her, but guess what? She didn't like him back. She really didn't pay much attention. And Lester is a writer, but you know what Lester does with his writing? He likes to ruin people. He likes to write stuff. He even got one of his teachers fired for using drugs, and it said that the teacher was trying really hard, but he exposed the teacher, got him fired, and then when he liked this woman, he liked Beverly. Beverly had a boyfriend, so Dr. Bong went and he told David. Yeah, David was the boy that she liked.
Mm-hmm.
And he told David's parents, "Oh, David's doing this and that." So David's parents, it caused a bunch of drama, and they broke up. And then David died. David died in a car accident. So basically, that's why Dr. Bong did it. But Dr. Bong, Dr. Bong liked Beverly. He tried to talk to her. She didn't really even know who he was. Who are you? She angrily pushed him off.
I don't know who you are anymore.
And then he wanted to he thought his way would be as if he became a rock critic. So that's how he was going around with his rock, and that's how he, like the bells tolling, ding. But weird, he probably got his love for bells because he would hear bells tolling. But yeah, that didn't really go too far. Yeah. There was not really mention of how he came up with this outfit, but as we know, his first appearance is with Howard the Duck, and it is because Beverly Switzer was a companion. She was a friend of Howard the Duck's. So that's why he captured them, and he actually was able to beat Howard the Duck in fighting. Well, Howard the Duck is not much of a fighter, but
it's not too hard to do.
Duck.
Yeah, so him and his metal bell hand and everything was able to win, but he said, "Oh, I'm gonna hurt him," and eventually Beverly said, "Okay, fine." He's like, "You do it, I'll kill him unless you marry me." So she said, "Fine, yeah, okay." And then they made their escape, and so she's like, "It's not like a real marriage." But actually, how she got away from that is she used his, because so Dr. Bong, obviously he's a doctor, and she used his genes and stuff, and she created like little clones of him. So technically, he kind of has kids, and they're like, their names are very interesting. Where it's like Fester, Lester, stuff like that, and
Chester.
Yeah, so then he sees his quintuplets, and then Howard the Duck and Beverly make their escape. And then his next appearance is when he goes to She-Hulk. And now She-Hulk is a way better fighter than Howard the Duck. So she defeats Dr. Bong. See, She even considers him a clown.
Oh my
She
god.
defeats him. Later on in time, Dr. Bong isn't seen for quite a few years, but he is a doctor in psychology, so he becomes Deadpool's therapist. And he confronted Deadpool and Captain America during the Secret Avengers, and eventually, he's a bad guy. So him and Deadpool got in a fight, and Deadpool chopped off his metal bong hand. He later joined the Villains Anonymous with other characters like Boomerang, Hippo, Porcupine, Grizzly, Looter, and Mirage. He also even joined up with Ruby Thursday. If you don't know her, she may be on the F list one day soon. She's like a big red ball as her helmet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he teamed up with more of those villains, like I said. Ruby Thursday, Shrunken Bones, this Angar, the Screamer, who was probably going to join the F list too, and Spider-Man defeated them.
As he should have.
Yeah, so he has intelligence. He's got his equipment, his bong hand and stuff, and yeah. So
You
he
said
is
that
still alive.
they made a bunch of little clones like Lester and Fester and all that. They really had a missed opportunity there because his name is Lester Verde. They really had a missed opportunity not naming one of those little clones Salsa.
Yeah, see, they did. They missed out on that one. Yeah, there's Dr. Bong. He's still alive. Like I said, he's been around since 1977. His outfit, as you can see, like in the Deadpool ones, were the more updated ones. So he still pretty much kept his outfit the same.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really worth putting the effort in to redesign the costume of Dr. Bong?
Yeah,
Like,
especially with the bell head.
Any artist's time.
Yeah, with the bell head there too. Not much can be done for him. Guys, what do you think? Do you think Dr. Bong ever can make it out of the F list?
Like an F sharp on a guitar that's really low. No.
Dan, what about you?
There is zero chance that he will ever have any type of credibility.
Agreed. Yeah, I say Dr. Bong stays on the F list. Him, his quintuplets, they can all. Well, I don't know about the quintuplets too much, but yeah, look at who they're after him. They're basically clones of Dr. Bong. So Dr. Bong, and he stays on the F list.
There you go.
Thank you, Tim, for picking out this F lister.
You're welcome.
Dr. Bong, who had nothing to do with bongs.
Well, I bet that when Steve Gerber created him, there was something to do with bongs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a good name. Dr. Bong.
Doesn't that allude to something? No. Bong when you hit a bell. Yeah, I don't think that means what you think it means, but we'll go with it.
And yes, Dan, you were right. Yeah.
What's that line from Princess Bride? You keep saying that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Inconceivable.
Yeah. Dr. Bong, but yeah, he was created by Steve Gerber and Gene Colan.
Yeah.
And he will remain on the F list.
There you go.
So now, everybody, I say it is time that we welcome everyone to a review of the evening. Today, we will be reviewing Spider-Man, Daredevil, Neighbors. And that is from the Marvel Knights series. And as usual, Tim will start us off with the credits.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Spider-Man / Daredevil, Neighbors. It's a one-shot from the Marvel Knights imprint. It was written by Brett Matthews with artwork by Vachi Mavlian, colors by Jeremy Cox, and letters by Richard Starkings.
I'll give us a run-through. This may be our quickest run-through in Codex history. This is a quick story. So, we find out that a young girl is missing. A 6-year-old girl has been kidnapped, and Daredevil is on the hunt. He's looking for her, and he's taking more of a detective approach. He's going in the homes. He's listening to everybody. He's beating up people. He's on the streets trying to find this girl. But we also see Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is doing his friendly neighborhood Spider-Man stuff, and he's just up in this, well, I shouldn't say in the sky, but on buildings, and he's helping things like getting cats and things like that. And he's wondering, what should I deal with today? And eventually, as he brings a cat to some kids, they say, hey, we heard something. And then he but like, oh, our parents didn't listen. So Spider-Man says, tell me about it. And then Daredevil, eventually he finds the place, he gets some info, he finds it, but he gets a surprise when he sees that there are webs all around and these villains have been captured. And he says, you're lucky that, Spider-Man got you this time. Next time, I'll make you pay for it. And then Spider-Man is actually taking the young girl for a little ride, and then he returns her home. So it's a quick story. There we go. I pretty much went through the whole thing right then and there. They're trying to find the girl. Daredevil wants to get to her. Spider-Man beats him to it. But I do like that when Daredevil sees Spider-Man says, hey, hornhead.
Yeah.
And
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah. So it's a quick issue. The story, it's not super big. It almost reminded me like an Ash Can issue, like something like where you're saying, hey, this is what this story could be. Like this, it's like we could do a series of Spider-Man and Daredevil together. Here's a little something about it. Like I said, for me, it was very fast. I think it's a good, quick read. I didn't think it was, oh, it's so amazing. I liked the artwork was pretty good. I think, like I said, the artwork was good. I think the story is good. I liked how Daredevil was really a lot. Spider-Man, I liked how he was written. Something about his look, though, was a little threw me off a little bit. I didn't really care for the way Spider-Man looked so much. For me, I say Spider-Man, Daredevil, Neighbors is a good story all around. It's a good, quick read. I'd say if you want to read it, go ahead, enjoy the good, quick read. I don't think it's a must-read, though. So for me, all around, I give Spider-Man, Daredevil, Neighbors a 7 out of 10.
Hey, right on. That's not bad.
And let's have our guest go next. Dan, what did you think of this story?
I was a little disappointed when I started reading it, and as I kept going through, because you look at the title and you look at the cover, and you expect it's going to be Spider-Man and Daredevil, and they really only interact for like one panel at the end when it's like, hey, and that's it. I did think it was kind of cool where, Daredevil, when he found that Spidey already saved her, and he's like, oh, I heard her heartbeat, and I would have thought that she's in trouble. And then I saw she's having the time of her life as like Spider-Man swinging away and holding her. But I thought it got the characterizations of Spider-Man at the, how he was at the time of being kind of fun loving. I did think that, the scene where he's like talking to the kids and he's like, shit, take me and, there and show me. I was like, that's a little kind of creepy, the way that was written. But, where Daredevil's more serious, as he was in Marvel Knights at the time, Spider-Man is, a little more fun loving. I thought that it was weird that the reporter Ben Urich was, like when he looked at the one paper and it was Spider-Man on there, and it was, like, oh, Spider-Man saves all this stuff, and like, oh, Spider-Man gets all the credit. I'm like, really? Because it was always the story that the Daily Bugle was just taking a big dump on Spider-Man. So it's not really something that I would expect that he would be getting good headlines. Overall, I thought the artwork was decent. It was, it was definitely very 90s-ish artwork, definitely very, I saw it and said, this is definitely Marvel Knights artwork. It definitely fit in with what the style was for some of the stuff they were doing at the time.
This came out in just after September 11th, if I remember right.
I
Okay.
think it was
So
2010.
early 2000s. Yeah, early.
It wasn't an artist or writer that I'd heard of, but I thought the artwork was decent. I wouldn't mind finding some more stuff from him. Like I said, I thought the story was, after I was done reading, and I kind of thought, all right, I'm disappointed that, that they weren't interacting. It would, I would, because they have a great friendship in comics. It would have been great to see them, interacting. So I was kind of disappointed in that. And I thought the story was decent, but it was also, like you said, Sonny, like it's not required reading. It's, you'll read it and be like, okay, that's fine. And then you'll set it down and then you'll kind of forget about it in a day or two. So overall, I think I would give it a 6 out of 10. To me, it seems like making it a one shot almost seems like a cash grab of like, let's put Spider-Man and Daredevil on the cover and people will get it. It seemed more like it should have just been a fill-in issue on Daredevil instead of being a one shot as its own thing.
Okay.
Tim, you picked this. What do you think of this story?
I am on the exact opposite side of this coin. I love this issue. I think it's amazing. So yeah, okay. I love the story. This is two of New York's finest street level heroes coming to the same result in very different ways. and the issue reads exactly like that. Like it obviously has more of an emphasis on Daredevil, I think, than it does Spider-Man, and Ben Urich is that little piece that's in there too as a companion to Daredevil's story, right? And like in the beginning where you see the newspaper where it says Spider-Man saves the day, and then down at the bottom it says Daredevil prevents robbery, page 7. And Ben even says it. He's like, Spider-Man's on the cover all the time, Matt, because at this time Ben knew Daredevil's secret identities. Like, Spider-Man's always on the cover, and you get put next to the classifieds on page 7. He's like, it's not fair. People need to know how good you are and what you do for this city, and I don't think that they do. So with this kidnapping and all that stuff, right? The story moves slow at first, at least to me it did. And then as it comes together, I think the story is very rich and very powerful, because you see how Daredevil approaches this particular situation, right? He is incredibly serious. He removes the glove from his hand so he can get full sensory, all of that stuff. All of his senses are working to figure out where this girl is and how soon he can get to save her and all these other things. While Spider-Man, it's a regular Tuesday for him, and he's swinging through the city and getting cats off of telephone poles and stopping robberies and all this other stuff. I think it's a really awesome and unique way that they showed two heroes that are best friends crossing paths during their nightly patrols, right? They don't have time to stop and hang out. They don't have time to chit chat about things. And during, when Spider-Man makes it to the end and he saves a girl, because when he was getting the cat off of the telephone pole, the kids are like, hey, we heard about this. Our parents didn't believe us. And what he said was really powerful. I believe you. Tell me about it. And then, Daredevil shows up. He's racing because he can hear the heartbeat. He can smell the tears, the salt and the tears and all that stuff. And he gets there and the villains are like, not another one.
That was pretty funny.
And Daredevil's standing there and he's like, I can smell it. The webs have this very unique smell. Spider-Man, he's been here. And he turns around and he's like, basically tells these guys, he's like, you're lucky he got to you before I did. And if you do this again, you won't answer to him, you'll answer to me. And then he leaves. And it's so great. I love it. The artwork is incredibly detailed. Each panel feels like a masterpiece to me, though I do agree with both of you that Spider-Man, the work that was done on Spider-Man was a little lacking, and there were definitely parts where that was incredibly noticeable. But that cover speaks volumes to me. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous cover. It's very consistent otherwise, and the colors by Jeremy Cox need to be pointed out. His subdued colors in this book, as an oxymoron, really make the artwork pop and make it stand out even more. So, Dan, where you give this a 6 out of 10, and Sonny, you give this a 7 out of 10. And remember, guys, 5 is middle of the road. 5 is neither here nor there, right? 6 is starting the progression towards this being a good issue. I give it all the way around an 8 out of 10. I agree. It is a forgettable issue in the sense that it's not necessary to read in the grand scheme of things. However, if you want to read a story on how these characters interact on a Tuesday night, right, when they're both very busy, and it just so happens that the conclusions to things that they're doing make them cross paths for all of 2 minutes, this is the perfect thing to read, and it's 36 pages. 8 out of 10.
So there we go. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, and 8 out of 10. So there we go for Spider-Man Daredevil Neighbor. So anybody, if you've checked it out, let us know what you think in the comments. And if you haven't checked it out, hey, check it out. Let us know what you think. Whose side are you on? Do you agree with Dan, me, Tim? Do you think it's one of the best things you've ever read? Is it one of the worst things you've ever read? Who knows? Let us know. We always love to know. And if you have any recommendations for us, we always love to have recommendations from anybody. to review, whether it be here on the Codex podcast or just
Mhm.
reviews regularly on the Codex station.
Is it one of the things you've ever read?
It is one of the things, yes.
Yeah. And everyone, yeah, so that wraps up our review of Spider-Man Daredevil Neighbors. And next time on the Codex podcast, we will be reviewing the Justice League of America, Another Nail.
Oh, that's such a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't wait.
A couple months ago, we read Justice League of America, The Nail. So now it's time to
Mhm.
get to the sequel, Another
Yeah.
Nail.
And
Absolutely.
I watched that one. I was definitely on your side with the review of that one, Sonny.
Thank you. Because it's a classic. And one of the
It
stories I
was Civil
love.
War in DC before Civil War even came out.
It was amazing. Which I am very excited for next time when we review Justice League of America.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Another Nail. And then now you start wrapping this up.
Mhm.
Dan, if you'd like to say goodbye to everybody. Tell
Goodbye to
them
everybody.
yeah, goodbye to everybody. Okay, there we go. You can tell them where they can find you, and that they will be seeing you and other things too from the Codex station.
Yeah, you can check me out on Instagram at Dan Kelly Art. I post, like you guys said, on the Facebook page, Comic Character of the Day. I post on there the question of the day and random panel of the day every day. Like you said, I do a couple other shows with Codex, so thank you both for letting me come on here tonight. And Jamie will be back next week.
Mhm.
If Sonny allows it, of course.
I'm considering.
If Sonny rehires him. Now,
So
I
let's
also
consider.
run a meme page on Facebook called "We're All Doomed, So Let's Have a Laugh While the World Burns." If you want to go there and have a good laugh.
If
A warning
you
for
are
that one though, if you're an adult.
if you are sensitive to to the way the wind blows the wrong way, don't go there. But if you can have a good laugh, go there.
If you have a rough sense of humor like us,
It's
good.
worth it if you can just enjoy what you're seeing.
So again, thank you to guys for letting me come on tonight. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
It was a pleasure having you on, Dan.
It was good to I do shows with Tim all the time, but like you said with you, Sonny, the only time I've done shows with you is when we do the big like the Cody's or the Christmas show and stuff. So it was it was good to be able to do a show with you too.
Yeah, it was great having you on, Dan, and look forward to having you on again sometime. And hey, speaking of those Cody's, I'll be seeing you guys in a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah, Codex Awards. So, as last year when I was ending, I was saying like I'm gonna try to come up with a good way to end it. So, Dan, you were sending me an idea, so let me see how I could do this right. Thank you for going on this journey with me. I'll see you at the comics.
There it is. All right, Sonny's tagline.
Magnificent.
Wonderful. We can just end the show now. That's that right there.
There's nothing that's gonna touch.
No. Okay. I'll say a few things. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to find us on all the socials. All you got to do is type in at the Codex Station. That is where we will be. Your favorite social media platforms and where we're live streaming right now. Please, if you enjoy the content that we provide for you on the regular, hit the subscribe button. We would be much appreciative if you did something like that for us. That would be amazing. If you've watched a couple of times, just go ahead, hit that button. Just touch it once.
Do it now.
Do this, yes, and then there you go. And the hard part's over. Now you get to watch us all the time. Hit the like, share, subscribe, follow, please. And let us grow into the comic book podcast and station that we deserve to be. And we need your help to do that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, head over to thecodexstation.com for all your Codex needs. Get some merch, meet the team, and so much more. Once again, thecodexstation.com. And let's give a shout out one more time to our sponsor for tonight's episode, Nirvana Comics, right here in Knoxville, Tennessee, at least on my end. Head over there to meet Grant, Jasmine, and the rest of the Nirvana team. They will be more than happy to help you out, and you can win this awesome exclusive cover. Make sure to subscribe here, head over to their Facebook page, like their Facebook page, go over to ours, take a screenshot of that, type in I'm in, and you are entered in to win this awesome store exclusive from Nirvana Comics, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tag us out part of the way, and then Sonny, I want to hear the golden words one more time.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I am Tim the Terrible. I will see you in the next one. This is Dan the Kelly Art, the road manager for the Ric Flair of comic books.
Woo.
He will see you at the spinner rack. But Sonny has the best tagline of all. Sonny, please grace us with history.
Okay, here we go again. Thank you for going on this journey with me. I'll see you at the comics.